Hi, I'm William Brangham, and I'm so glad to be a part of American Graduate Day. New York Cares is a volunteer powerhouse here in New York. With 59,000 volunteers, New York Cares helps 400,000 New Yorkers every year. While they do a wonderful job serving the overall New York City population, New York Cares takes a special interest in early education programs. Through their Bedtime Stories and Read to Me programs, volunteers read to low-income and homeless kids, providing them with the individualized attention and academic support that they wouldn't otherwise get. Here with me are three very passionate New York Cares supporters. Debbie Erisnor, a volunteer and team leader with the program, Gary Bagley, Executive Director of New York Cares, and Jason Tomaszewski, Program Director at the Educational Alliance. Gary, you've been at New York Cares for 10 years. You've seen a lot of these different kinds of programs.
Yes.
What are these reading programs specifically? What are they about?
We have two great programs that we're focusing on here. One is called Bedtime Stories. And on Bedtime Stories, our volunteers visit the shelter system or other community groups, and volunteers have a chance to read one-on-one with children who often don't have any other sort of reading support in the
Literally
evenings.
reading bedtime stories to them.
Exactly. And it's a wonderful experience many of us take for granted, but not every child gets. Read to Me is similar. Our volunteers come to the homeless shelter, bring kids from there to their local public library, make sure that they get a library card and that they have a day of fun reading activities where they learn to access this wonderful public resource that's available to all of us.
Jason, how important is New York Cares and these reading programs to the Educational Alliance?
The impact has been phenomenal. Literacy is just so important and impactful in general, and a lot of our students do enjoy to read, but by implementing bedtime stories, the volunteers who come in, they're just so energetic and interactive. And our students are far from shy. So as soon as they meet the volunteers, they're your best friend. As soon as you introduce your name, which is great.
This basically seems like such a simple thing, that a volunteer adult reading to a child, and you're arguing that that pays huge educational dividends for these kids.
It certainly does. It is amazing to see how rewarding it is for our children to be there interacting with the volunteers, smiling when they read, and also our students are learning the importance of volunteering and what it means to give back to your community, and just how great it is to volunteer in general.
I wonder, Gary, from a broader perspective, what happens if we don't have these interventions for young kids? What happens if they slip through the cracks and fall behind in their education?
We do know that if a child is not reading on grade level in the early elementary school years, the challenges to overcoming that after that are even greater. The importance of catching up to grade level, the earlier we can do that, the drastically improved chances the child has to succeed all the way through their educational system.
And something as simple as reading a book to them in the morning or in the evening can do that. Debbie, I know you volunteered at the Willow Avenue Family Residence, which is a homeless shelter up in the Bronx. You obviously spend time with these kids. You've either come from your home or you're going to your home, and you know these kids themselves, at least temporarily, don't have a place to call home. Is that tough to leave at the end of the day?
When I first started volunteering, it was, because I think when you think of a homeless person, you think of someone, maybe they look disheveled or maybe not well kept. But when you go and work with the kids, they look like everything is perfectly fine. They're so happy, they're well maintained, they're just so appreciative that I just started looking at it as I was helping, and that was just the only way that I could help. There has been a time where a child has looked at me and says, "Well, why are you here?" And I've said, "I remember when I was your age, I had somebody help me out, so why wouldn't I want to do that with you?"
I wonder, what do you get out of that?
It's fulfillment. I feel like they've helped me to be more creative in things that I do, and I just hope that I'm helping them, whether it's build up their self-esteem, whether to do things that they didn't think that they could do, or they're me when I was their age. I didn't grow up in a shelter, but I think hardship just affects people in different ways, and so I'm just helping someone else.
Has this work changed your perspective
Definitely.
on your career, on your life?
Everything.
How so?
I feel like before volunteering, I used to complain about some of the most pettiest things. And now it's led me to be more appreciative of just my life, but also I feel like it's helped me to show more compassion to others, and just I find myself more willing to help any way I can.
Thank you very, very much for joining us and for sharing your stories with us. New York cares, and you should too. Reaching these at-risk young minds is vital to their lifelong success, and New York Cares is doing their part to promote this early education. Join the movement. Become an American Graduate Champion. Learn more about how you can keep kids on the path toward graduation at americangraduate.org.
American Graduate Day, a live nationwide outreach event